Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to all of you on YouTube. All right, so Netflix Iron Fist, and I'm not quite sure what to say. And I mean, I haven't really done many of these reviews, so bear with me as I go through this. First of all, let me say, as I've said in the um, my trailer reactions for Iron Fist and whatnot, I know many people like myself going in were very, very looking forward to Iron Fist and seeing what it was. I mean, because Marvel Netflix has done amazing so far. Daredevil season one, season two, Jessica Jones, which I know divided a lot of people. I mean, wasn't beloved by a lot, but still a number of people liked it. And of course, Luke Cage, which most people loved the first half, and then second half thought it petered off a little bit, which the last couple episodes did, But overall, they've killed it. Been great series, and before going into Iron Fist, there were early reviews, people saying, that this is Marvel Netflix first letdown, and this and that, basically saying that it wasn't good and all, So going in, that kind of tempers things, but still, as with all movies, TV shows, whatever, you need to try to keep an open mind, open view too. So, anyways, I tried to discard all that stuff going into Marvel's Netflix. And, you know, I mean, I guess I can, as we'll get into it, kind of understand what some people were saying, but overall, I still enjoyed it, the series, very much. Um, Iron Fist is very different from the others, whereas I don't want to say overall darker tone, but there is a little more of a gritty underbelly tone in the other ones. I mean, of course, in whereas you have Daredevil and Hell's Kitchen, you know, I mean, seriously, you're in the muck and mire of of crime, of New York City. That I mean, it's just dark because of the environment. Then you have Jessica Jones, which was, and I'm talking as much filming as far as overall feel, a little lighter in itself, but because of the subject matter, because of the Purple Man, who, for all intents and purposes, can control you to do anything, and you're dealing with the disturbed, the character of Jessica Jones and herself, who has been manipulated, and as some people would put it this way, raped mentally and physically by this man. That was just an overall emotionally dark place for the series, and I know that maybe that's one reason why I like. But again, whereas Daredevil, tons of action. Jessica Jones was more of a character piece. Then you had Daredevil season two. Again, a lot of the same introduction to the Punisher, Elektra, and all that. A lot of action, but still that dark, gritty Hell's Kitchen environment, uber violence. Then you had Luke Cage, which again, inner city Harlem, so a little darker view, but trying to show the bright side of it as well, of the community and whatnot. And it was a more community focused thing, and the character of Luke Cage and whatnot. But still, still plenty of action and whatnot. But that again, one thing for Daredevil and Luke Cage, a lot of, I guess, the key set pieces, if you think about it, were, or I think they're, and I could be wrong if I'm remembering right, but a lot, the majority, I think, was filmed more at night. I mean, things that went on were set at night there than in the day. Of course, Jessica Jones, a lot more of it was set during the day, as it was more of a character study and dealing with, you know, her Purple Man, Trish, and whatnot. Um, and then, like I said, Luke Cage, about 50-50, but the predominant stuff that happened, of course, happened during the night. Whereas then we come to Iron Fist. I mean, make no mistake, there's still action, and I would say good action as well, but more akin to Jessica Jones. I think it's more of a character study of Danny Rand, and of course, who he is. Danny Rand versus the Iron Fist. Danny Rand in his place back in society with the Rand Corporation. His dealings with his former with his friends, almost second family, the Meachums. Um, so in that respect, I guess where you have so much action from three out of the four past, well, seasons, if you will, three series, but four seasons in between them all. Very action oriented, along with character development. You have something that there is action in it, but like I said, it is more, I think, a character piece than anything. So in that comparison, I guess if that's what more people were expecting, I can see why it may have seemed more of a letdown for them. And again, as far as, you have different directors, different way of filming things, different directors of photography and everything. And Iron Fist, yes, has a different feel, if you will. Like, again, each of them have a slightly different feel. If anything, I would say the closest in the way the shows are shot and storyline progress would be Luke Cage and Daredevil. And like I said, Jessica Jones was a bit different, as now Iron Fist is a bit different. So, anyways, so I can understand it, but overall, I enjoyed it going in. Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, Danny Rand's return after 15 years, the classic story of Iron Fist. So I was wondering, okay, how are they going to do this? And, again, bringing the introduction to the Rand Corporation, um, which I have to say, I do like, the characters of Ward and Joy Meacham. Which Joy Meacham, it took me a while. I recognized the actress, and I mean, I'm sure I saw the name at first when I saw the casting for Iron Fist, but I forgot. But I was like, who is that? She looks familiar. Jessica Stroup. And then I remembered as, I watched, of course, the old 90210 back in the day, and then the reboot, the first couple seasons of it. But, Jessica Stroup, who played Silver. Um, and seeing, I guess, her growth, I guess, as a woman, as an actress, because I really knew her from nothing other than 90210. I saw her in like one other thing I can't remember, but anyways, it was a pleasant surprise, and I'm sure I've seen the actor who plays Ward somewhere before, but I can't picture offhand. Anyways, but I think what they brought to each of those roles was very interesting. Ward's character, I mean, again, being an addict, be it to his prescribed medicine, I guess, and then, the heroin, later was, a little erratic and stuff, but very interesting as he was this controlling, money hungry, character, but at the same time, who had this secret he had been keeping from everyone, most importantly his sister, for so long that, well, I'll get to that. I mean, you have the Meacham siblings who were, friends with Danny growing up. Of course, Ward was his major antagonist growing up, I guess, like the big bully brother, if you will. And, of course, you had their father, Harold, who I guess started Rand along with Danny's father, Wendell. And as we come to the story, and this is spoiler full, if I mean, as I have in the title, if you didn't get that, well, I'm sorry. But you see that obviously Harold, who supposedly died from cancer, which you see in the first episode, is alive, and Ward knows this, and has dealings with the main villains, if you will, overall villains of the series, and kind of, I guess you could say, overarching of the Marvel MCU Netflix universe, The Hand, which of course prominently Daredevil, seasons 1 and 2, they're behind all things. Of course they weren't mentioned per se or really mentioned in Jessica Jones or Iron Fist, but still, the overall big thing. And I mean, if you've seen the trailer for The Defenders, which comes out, soon. The Hand apparently is the main antagonist again, as you see from the hand that ends up forming from at the end of the trailer. So it'll be very interesting to see. Obviously, we see Danny's um, connection to and dealings with the hand. We know Daredevil's dealing with the hand. Yes, but so it'll be interesting to see how they are united. Again, like I said, obviously now Iron Fist and Daredevil, we have their connections to the hand, and then I mean Claire obviously has dealt with them, who's many people have likened to Nick Fury of this Netflix universe, as she knows everyone and will bring them together, I guess. But the thing with the Catalyst is from, I guess, seeing what Jessica Jones has been doing during this little bit of time to getting Luke Cage out of prison and whatnot. But anyways, this isn't a review again of all the other series, which I haven't done, so I guess it is a mini one, but more so, as I said again, Iron Fist. So, we discover Harold Meachum is alive because of a dealing he's made with the Hand, and a deal with Madame Gao again from Daredevil. And I guess the storylines may not have seen as solid, concrete as they were at times in the previous series. And again, I can understand why that is. But again, like I said, this is a character study of Danny Rand and all what he's going through from, again, his return to Rand to, I guess, meeting his first friend, through all of this, Colleen Wing, um, the daughter of the dragon. And just you see the building of their relationship and their trust, which ultimately only to be revealed that she is a member of the Hand, um, and that whole dichotomy that she, of course, like many organizations, cults or whatever you will, says we're not bad, or this section of it is bad, but we're not bad. We do good, and she's blindsided by that. Which down the line in the series, you come to find after more dealings with Madame Gao and she's captured and everything, by a man named Makuto, who's also revealed to be a Hand leader. That's how we find out, of course, that Colleen Wing has been deceived this entire time, including the kids at the dojo she runs, which is really kind of crappy. I mean, if you think about it, for her to think about, she's led all these kids to what she thought would be, something great, and it turns out to be something terrible. But I mean, like I said, the little bits of even like her students. Again, I'm not sure the name of the actor of the main kid who they show the main guy, but the little bits we see of her dojo students is always interesting, and I guess you could say Iron Fist is all about relationships as well, in the sense of again, always Danny Rand's relationships to various people, to the Meachums, to Colleen, to Kunlun, as his brother from Kunlun. I'm not going to even try to say his name right now. I think it's like Darfos, But when he comes in, seeing that dynamic, but the ever-present, I mean, and you gotta love the kung fu in it, but between sensei and master, that relationship and what it means from Danny's relationship to his sensei from Kung Lun, which you kind of see in his what almost seems like insanity at times, to again, Colleen's relationship with Bakudo as her sensei, and again, her student's relationship with her. So I would say, if anything, Iron Fist is about relationships. I mean, that's again kind of been kind of the core of a lot of the Marvel Netflix. In Daredevil, Matt's relationship to Foggy and Karen, his relationship to later Elektra, and just New York in itself. And of course, as a Claire, her relationships with everyone in a sense, but and Jessica Jones, Jessica's relationship with Trish, of course, with Kilgrave, and uh, her lack of relationship. I mean, of course, Luke Cage, um, and Luke Cage, his relationship with Claire and Misty Knight, and just the community. And now we have Iron Fist, where Daredevil 2, his relationship with the Punisher, and the same core of characters, of course, Kingpin. And like I said, now we have Iron Fist, as I just explained, Danny, his relationship with all the people in his life. And, again, how what you've been taught is not always what there is. From Danny's perception of the hand, which still seems mostly right, but I mean, the level, the commitment that the hand period is evil, to Colleen's, again, her interpretation and relationship with the hand, as she thought. And like I said, things aren't as that's what she's been taught and raised, if you will. And the truth isn't always so black and white. But anyways, overall, I rather enjoyed the series. I mean, I don't think it's a letdown in any. It was different. Um, but different is good sometimes. And like I said, it gets me so hyped up for the Defenders, just to see how it is. As with the MCU, this year, can't wait for Guardians, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yes, it's a Sony movie, but it's part of the MCU. So, and then Thor, Ragnarok later this year, and then you know the movies next year, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and all that. But ultimately, Infinity War, and then the second Avengers movie, which is no longer Infinity War Part Two. Who knows what it is? But that build up, you have all these great movies, and then you have your Avengers movie. Like I said, we've had all these great Netflix series, so it's going to be interesting to see them all interact. The Defenders, and I've loved the pictures that have been revealed and whatnot. But anyways, that's my review reaction. Again, as I'm still fairly new to this, I'm sure I missed many a key point that I should have. And if there's something I think about, then maybe I'll tack on to this later. But again, that's my review of Iron Fist. I'd say I'd give it a solid. I'd give it a B. Um, B minus. Um, and as always, subscribe, share your comments, your thoughts. They're very much appreciated. Help me in this process learning. Like, dislike if you don't, and say why you don't. Honesty's appreciated. As I said, criticism's good. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Peace.